Okay, so welcome to Bamberg, Germany. Now, we're right near Nuremberg, which was one of the three epicenters of Nazism. Munich, kind of the capital. Vienna, where Hitler learned all of his anti-Semitism, and where I was attacked Friday night. We still don't know the outcome from the Austrian police. Are they going to prosecute anyone or just talk empty chatter? And then finally, Nuremberg, where all the giant rallies took place. I showed you those yesterday. Now, being here in Germany and seeing all the places where the Jews were decimated, murdered. Remember, there were about 800,000 Jews in Germany prior to the Second World War. Today, then after the war, there were 5,000. Now there's about 200,000 because they're almost all Russian, from the former Soviet Union, Ukraine, etc. They were brought here by the German government. Positively, I could say that they were brought here, give them a better life, and that's true. If I wanted to be cynical, I could say it was almost like the German government, which is rich, thank God, kind of purchased for themselves a community by giving them great financial incentives to move here, and then they can say, hey, we're back to normal, we've got 200,000 Jews, in any event. So it's become one of the largest Jewish communities in Europe. But as Israel battles with all of this blood libels about starvation in Gaza, what becomes particularly interesting is to see what the Allies did to these cities. Now, this city in Bamberg, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, suffered only 5% damage to the city. Civilian housing, etc., being bombed by the British and by us Americans. But Nuremberg, which is half hour away, was leveled at 95%, and that was true of Hamburg, that was true of Dresden, that was true of Cologne, that was true, of course, of Berlin. Indiscriminate bombing. So you're talking a level of destruction which we Americans and the British perpetrated on British civilians that has no parallel with Israel even contemplated. And millions of civilians dying, with approximately a 1-to-4 combatant to civilian death ratio, about 3 million German civilians. That means that for every one German soldier, the Americans or the British or the Allies killed to stop Hitler, they probably killed at least 3 German civilians. In Gaza, it's 1-to-1 or 1-to-1.5, less than half. But no one talks about that. And we don't call America the Nazis. We knew who the Nazis were. They were Hitler. And we know who the Nazis are. It's Hamas.